Tonight, students get a taste of a different culture.
And the community is coming together to support the football team. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for September 18th, 2015. I'm Sarah Singletary.
And I'm Haley Greathouse. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University will see some expansion to a donation made this morning on the Dothan campus. Officials with Michelin North America presented a $150,000 donation to Troy University officials this morning. The donation will fund the creation of a whiteboard room, which will be part of the university's Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Innovation. The center will be housed inside Coleman Hall, a new academic building coming soon to the Dothan campus.
Students got a sweet taste of Zimbabwe at Tea for Troy's Zimbabwe Night yesterday. In addition to tasting exotic teas, students learned about the tea industry and its impact on Zimbabwe. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
Tea for Troy held its Zimbabwe Night Thursday to educate students on the tea industry and culture of Zimbabwe. The presentation described the method of how tea is picked by hand and its multiple uses in Zimbabwe. Students had a chance to try two types of Zimbabwean tea, lemon tea and white tea, a type of tea mixed with milk that has a flavor similar to coffee.
And in addition to enjoying some sweet refreshments, students also had the chance to enjoy these refreshments in real teacups provided by Sodexo.
The presenter, freshman Anesu Shumba, stressed the importance of these events, saying that they promote a cultural exchange through a common connection.
It is important because you get to know more about the other people's culture using a common interest, which is tea.
Students responded well to the presentation, and the tea is available that night.
I really liked it. I think it went really, really well. Elisha was very funny, and his presentation was very well put together. And the tea was very good. I actually really enjoyed the tea this week.
I really liked the teas. I tried both of them, and then I went back to try the other teas. And I enjoyed playing Jenga and getting to actually meet the guy from Zimbabwe and talk with him and play with him. Play Jenga with him. And it was just really fun meeting new people and then learning about the culture and then drinking the teas. So everything, I guess.
Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy TrojanVision News.
Tea for Troy's next event will be Japan Night and will be held on October 1st in the Hall of Honor.
Troy University and its Confucius Institute will open the doors of the Davis Theater for the Performing Arts to provide the public a free performance by a Chinese art ensemble tomorrow night. The Jiangsu Normal University Art Ensemble will perform at 6:30 p.m. Saturday on the Montgomery campus. The night's entertainment includes classical, dance, Chinese folk dance, and presentations from the Beijing Opera. Once again, the show's tomorrow night at the Davis Theater on Troy's Montgomery campus. It's free and open to the public. Some symbols of the Confederacy have come under fire the past few months, but the Capitol is filled with history related to the Civil War era.
That's right, Haley, and including one location in downtown Montgomery that once served as the center of the Confederate government. Amanda Langley shows us this historic attraction from our Trojan News Bureau in Montgomery.
Montgomery has been home to many historic events and has many historic landmarks, including the home of the only president of the Confederate States of America.
We are the first White House of the Confederacy. Jefferson Davis had his office here for the first 3 months. This house served as his executive residence before relocating to Richmond, Virginia.
The home is a popular spot for field trips and for people looking for a chance to take a step back in history.
We mainly book school groups. We like to make history fun.
Here in the Relic Room, visitors from all over can experience the rich history kept throughout the home due to the artifacts and architecture maintained from many years ago.
I actually came here for a meeting from Huntsville, Alabama. I live in Tennessee. The White House of the Confederacy, of course, with the just with the climate of our country right now, I thought it would be interesting to just see where it all came from, because I know everything has a history. And the history is what makes it so important and gives it the passion to the different people around the country. And I thought, what a neat opportunity. What a neat opportunity. So here I am.
With all the controversy surrounding the Confederate flag in the news, the home has experienced a rise in tourism.
You can come view the first White House of the Confederacy. We're open Monday through Fridays from 8 to 4:30, Saturdays from 9 to 4.
Reporting from Montgomery, Amanda Langley, Troy TrojanVision News.
The first White House of the Confederacy is located on Washington Avenue next to the Alabama Department of Archives in downtown Montgomery.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Marine officials say a manatee found dead in Mobile Bay apparently died after being hit by a boat. The Dauphin Island Sea Lab says the case is the first adult manatee death in Alabama blamed on a boat strike. The manatee known as Ziwi was first tagged by researchers in the Mobile-Tensaw Delta in 2010.
The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency has arrested a York woman accusing her of slaying her husband, a former city councilman, on Valentine's Day. Authorities announced yesterday that 44-year-old Carolyn R. Cook of York is charged with murder in connection with the February 14th death of Eccles Cook.
State school board members say changes in Alabama's science standards won't be a big deal in the classroom. New standards taking effect next year say students are required to understand the principles of evolution. Alabama is updating its statewide standards for public schools for the first time since 2005. Still to come on Troy Trojan Vision News, the Trojan football team is back in action this weekend against Wisconsin. Brian Renfro gives us a preview in sports.
Plus, controversy has been surrounding Donald Trump. We will have more on that coming up, so stay with us.
What Donald Trump did not say in response to a comment about President Obama ignites a firestorm. I'm Craig Boswell in Washington. That's coming up.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume, no one amused you.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Week 3 of college football is upon us, and the Trojans are looking to grab their second win of the season. The team is looking for a repeat of their impressive home opener against Charleston Southern last week, but this week a top 25 ranked team stands in the way, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Wisconsin's about what you expect. You know, they're really well coached. They're big. They're physical. They've won a lot of football games. They're a top 25 team. You know, I think they'd probably be higher ranked. They played Alabama, which may be the best team in the country.
Though the Badgers are known for their size and running game, Coach Brown highlights their offensive balance as the main threat.
I think it's a concern. I think everybody that lines up is going to play Wisconsin. It's going to be a concern. I mean, that's going to be your focal point number one, is to stop the run. But you also got to be, you know, their quarterback is really accurate. And they do a good job of getting you sucked in and then hitting you for big plays down the field in their passing game.
With their sights set on Madison, Wisconsin, the Trojans believe they match up well against anyone in the country and look forward to the challenge.
Anything can happen on any game, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter if you're AA, you know, 1A. You know, it's still a football game. It's 11 against 11, so, you know, you still got to play the game. You still got to compete. They put on their jerseys just like we put on our jerseys, so it's going to be, you know, a tough one, you know, to pull out, but we're ready for it.
You know, football is just depends on who performed better, who has the mindset, and, you know, who got there and perform at every play. Wisconsin's a good team. I watched them over the weekend play, and I'm just really ready to play them.
We just got to have the same enthusiasm, come out there ready to play, excited. It's going to be a great atmosphere for us as a whole. So I think we're just going to have to repeat, have that same energy we had last weekend.
Though the team is coming off a win, Coach Brown says there is still room for improvement.
And we've got to focus on ourselves. We've got to get better. You know, there's some things, regardless of who we're playing this week, that we know that we got to get better to put ourselves in contention to play in the Sun Belt. We got to be better on first down. We allowed too much yards, especially running the football on first down, and we got to get off third and fourth down. We were improved from a week ago, but I still think we can do better, especially in some of those medium situations.
Wisconsin comes into this weekend's game after a 58-0 victory last week against Miami of Ohio. Kickoff is set for 2:30 p.m. and the game will be televised on the Big Ten Network. The Trojan volleyball team heads into conference play tonight at 6 p.m. looking to build off its 4-0 home game winning streak as it takes on Appalachian State, a team that is coming off 3 consecutive wins. The Trojans will turn around tomorrow at 6 p.m. to take on Arkansas State. The team heads into tonight's matchup looking to break a 5-match losing streak, but lead the Sun Belt Conference with 2.53 blocks per set as a team. Senior Darby Griff ranks second in the Sun Belt in blocks per set, while Blair Winston leads the Trojans with 3.19 kills per set. 11 days without soccer. That's a pretty long time if you're a soccer player, but the rest is officially over for the Troy soccer team, who left for the Volunteer State to take on Tennessee Tech today at 4 p.m. The Trojans will head over to Nashville tomorrow to take on Belmont at 3 p.m. The team goes into this weekend's matchups boasting a 5-2 record on the season. Head coach Jason Hamilton explains the magnitude of the games and the impact they can have on the team heading into conference play.
You kind of have to be careful on your scheduling. You don't want to, schedule any opponents that might be too soft and they aren't really challenging you out there. It's always great to get wins, but if you're not being challenged, it's not going to help you going into the conference. And you don't want to play two opponents that are going to be very difficult and they're going to come out with a little bit of lack of confidence after those two games. So this is a really good weekend for us with Tennessee Tech and Belmont, two teams that would, be very similar to the teams in our conference. So it's going to be a good measurement for us of where we're at and the things that we need to do positive, going into those games to get the wins.
Was Troy 1, Tennessee Tech 0 at the half. The Trojans will head into conference play next Friday when South Alabama rolls into town. The men's and women's cross-country teams will hit the ground running this weekend at the Mountain Dew Gator Cross Country Invitational. The meet will begin on Saturday with a total of 40 teams competing. The men's team will get things going with an 8K race at 7:55 tomorrow morning, and the Trojan women are scheduled to begin right after with a 5K at 8:30. Though this is a big meet, head coach Elliott Blount says he will coach with caution and keep the team's focus directed toward conference play.
We're going to be at full strength. We're a little nicked up, and I may pull some people out of the meet just to keep them healthy. It's a big meet, but we want to be at our best at conference. So, I think to err on the side of caution would probably be best right now. So we'll see. We'll try to be at full strength, but I'm not gonna push it just so soon.
The Trojans are coming off a number of personal best times in the first two meets of this season and look to improve heading into this weekend. Troy Women's Golf, the two-time defending Sun Belt Conference champion, opens up their season on Saturday at the Schooner Fall Classic hosted by Oklahoma. Junior transfer from Mississippi State Gabby Obrey and freshman Bianca Lobauer and Lindsey Harrison will be new to the lineup for the Trojans, alongside returning juniors Fatima Fernandez-Cano and Becca Horner. The 54-hole event will take place over the span of 3 days, and the Trojans are paired up with Texas State and Kansas State and will tee off at 9:50 a.m.